Hello, my name is Daniel Agnew. I'm a teddy bear and toy specialist, and this is Hilary Pawley, who is a teddy bear collector. And today we are looking at some of our toys, and in this case, dolls, I suppose you would call them. These all date from the First World War, which was the 1914 to 1918 Great War, as it was known at the time. And these two soldiers, this is a regular Tommy, but I think yours looks more like an officer of some sort.
Yes,
don't you think?
yes, he looks. He definitely looks as though he's officer material.
So these, this one definitely is made by an English company called Harwin, and this we're fairly certain it is as well. But he's got a slightly different look to him. Basically, this style of doll was very much originally made by Steiff, jointed felt, and come the outbreak of the First World War, we didn't really want to buy any more German toys for obvious reasons. So lots of toy companies started making very similar German toys, and actually in England and the UK we carried on making toys all the way through the First World War, which we didn't do in the Second World War. We stopped making toys. So this is just one of the regular First World War infantrymen, and he's in his khaki uniform. Harwin have very distinct. I think it's painted on. The moustache, the eyebrows, the nostrils, the lips, and the hair is just painted on the felt. Whereas actually a Steiff doll, normally the hair is inserted as mohair. And they've got boot button eyes, this one has, but yours has got glass eyes, which are actually sort of human type eyes, where they've got the brown centre and the white edge at corners. And mine seems to have very big ears, and yours has got a more discreet ear, which is quite nice. But yours is actually, I would say, is a higher quality, more expensive, perhaps at the time. Your buttons are lovely, and I think they've got the flaming grenade on them, which was from one of the regiments, I think, from memory. So those are two First World War English toys, and the child at home would have had a doll of their father, or their brother, as they went off to wars, something to sort of, maybe remember him by. They also made teddy bears, which we're both after one, aren't we? Really?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Harwin made virtually the same as this, but with a teddy bear head on and fluffy hands and fluffy feet, no hair, and they're very rare. So one day we'll find one. So those are two First World War soldiers, and this is another one of my favourite items. This is by Dean's Rag Book again. Dean's Rag Book started making printed cloth books. That's what they were best known for, and they developed that over the years into cut out sheets of dolls which were printed on, where you actually cut them out at home.
And made them yourself.
But the same dolls they actually made in house as well.
So this is a factory one.
This is the factory one, because you couldn't make it to this sort of standard. So this is 1917, and he's the Royal Flying Corps. As you can see, he's got the wings on his uniform. And so the Royal Air Force was created as the Royal Flying Corps originally in 1917. So this came out shortly after, and we started using, not to a great extent, but fighter planes during the First World War, and they often just dropped supplies, as well as a few bombing raids, I think, and the odd dogfight. But this is an creation, and he's very much like a child, don't you think? The face is.
Really
it's not
like
an
a
adult,
boy,
is
boy,
it?
isn't
Yeah.
it?
So that's quite nice. So then I think literally in about 1919 it became the Royal Air Force rather than the Royal Flying Corps. So that's the Air Force covered. This chap's great. This is Old Bill,
Yes.
and he was in a magazine that came out and during this period, and it was about a slightly older soldier in the trenches of the First World War, and he was a pretty miserable soul. But this is, he's great. He's got this lovely sort of mohair moustache.
What's his label say?
Well, that's it says Ole as OLE, so Old Bill, and Mascot. So a lot when they're this size and this size, they were designed as little pocket sort of mascots and souvenirs. And so this is Farnell, and so that's his original paper label. And as you can see underneath, it says Alpha Make. So that's Alpha Farnell. Yeah. So I've actually got one of these that size as well. But he's a wonderful, poignant character, and as I said, he was always represented fairly miserable, sat in his trench, drinking tea and so forth, fighting the cause. And this is one of the sort of range of soldier, what we call in the collecting, teddy bear collecting, soldier bears. Although this is a cat, just to confuse things, but you've got this little tiny size of teddy bear in red, white, and blue, and golden, and they're very popular at the moment.
That soldiers had in their pockets.
They often, they were mascots, and I've actually sold them previously where the soldier has actually been killed, and this has been one of the few things that have been sent home to his sweetheart. But they also were kept by the sweetheart or the wife or children as well at the time. So it wasn't just
So the little keepsakes.
the little keepsakes, and this is actually a lucky black cat, which is a well-known mascot of this period anyway, and he's got his original paper label just for luck on there. And well, he's Farnell, but he's not marked Farnell.
Yeah, right.
But he's fully jointed. He's got a swivel head, and he's got pin joints, so they're literally a pin going through and then bent over the other end. So he's very simply made, and that's the remains of his tail.
It's very costly these days, soldier bears.
Yes, they can be. I mean, that's worth these days about £500. So just everyone just wants them so much. Because they're really poignant of that period, and so you can get them in. Get a red one, a white one, and a blue one as a little set, and they do extremely well. But when they've got provenance, if you know who owned them and you've got a photograph of that person, then they really are quite expensive. Then I think I've sold one for sort of £4,500.
That size.
With this mascot, this mascot size. Because there is a slightly larger one they do as well. There's one about that big. So that's as rare, but it's this size that they really want. So there's our little collection, all dating from the First World War, 1914 to 18.
I think they're lovely. I particularly like
Yours?
I particularly like mine, obviously. Just
no, yours is wonderful. And one day, when you're ready to sell that, you might have to go in my direction. I didn't say the word sell.
Cut.